Welcome back to this video tutorial. We can discuss about the flowchart of various decision making branching statements in this video. So first we can consider the flowchart of if statement, simple if statement. The syntax, we have already discussed about the syntax of if statement, like if with condition inside the parenthesis. If the condition is true, then we want to execute the body of this if present inside this braces, opening and closing braces. Okay, then if the condition is not true, just skip this if body and directly execute the remaining portion. Okay, so this is the flowchart representation. This is the if condition. This condition is represented here like this in this diamond box. If the condition is true, we need to execute a set of statement and go for the execution of remaining or rest of the program code. If the condition is not true, skip this body, directly go for the execution of rest of the program code. This is the flowchart of if statement. And this is about the if else statement. If the condition is true, then execute the if body. If the condition is not true, execute another body which is represented here in this else part. Okay, so if the condition is true, execute this if part and skip this else part and execute or go for the execution of rest of the program code. If the condition is not true, skip this if portion and execute the else portion and go for the execution of rest of program code. Okay, so this is the flowchart representation. This is the if condition. If the condition is true, execute a set of statement present in this if body and go for the execution of remaining portion, or we can stop the if else execution. Okay, if the condition is not true, go for the execution of else body. That means skip this if part and go for the execution of else part and exit the if else part and go for the execution of remaining portion. Okay, next we can consider this nested if. Nested if means if inside another if. Okay, so first condition, the outer if condition, if it is true, then go for the execution of the body of outer if. Inside the body of outer if, here we have one more condition to check, one or more condition. Okay, here it is another condition. If the condition is true, execute this particular statement and go for the execution of remaining portion of the program. If the condition is not true, then go for the execution of another set of statement. Skip this portion and execute another set of statement and directly go for the execution of remaining program code which is present outside the if body. Okay, if the outer if itself is false, then what we want to do, we want to execute another statement, go for the execution of remaining statement. If the outer if is true, then inside we can test another condition. If it is true, we can go for a particular set of statement and exit the if body. If it is false, execute another set of statement and go for the execution of remaining statement. Okay, if the outer if itself is false, then directly go for another state execution. That means the else part of outer if. Then go for the execution of remaining portion. Okay, next is about the else if ladder. That means we can check more conditions using this else if ladder. If the first condition is true, then execute a particular set of statement, directly go for the execution of the remaining portion. Okay, if the condition is false, then check another condition. If that condition is true, execute a particular set of statement and go for the execution of remaining portion. Skip all other condition checking and all other special set of statements. If the condition is true, then execute a particular set of statements and go for the execution of remaining portion which is present outside this else if part. If the second condition is again false, then go for the execution of third condition. If the condition is true, then execute a particular set of statement and directly go for the execution of remaining part of the program which is present outside this else if portion. If the third condition is again false, then go for the next condition checking and so on. So we can extend this particular condition checking up to any number of level. And finally, we can execute if all the conditions specified here gives a false value, then finally we can execute certain default statement if needed. Okay, and go for the execution of remaining part. If all the condition returns a false value, in that case only we can execute this default statement and go for the execution of remaining program part. And the switch statement is exactly like this. We can use this for checking different, or we can execute different block of statement just like this else if ladder. Here we have a switch expression. Okay, if this expression match with any of these cases, switch cases, then go for the execution corresponding to the go for the execution of statements corresponding to that particular case label. If this expression match with this case 1 label, then execute this particular statement, directly go for the execution of remaining statement which is present outside the switch body. Okay, if the first case is not match with the switch expression, then go for matching the second case expression. If this second case label match with this, then execute this one and directly go outside. If there exists no match, then go for checking for the match with the case 3 with the statement, switch statement or switch condition expression. If there exists a match, then execute this particular block of statement, go directly to the execution of remaining portion which present outside the switch body. Skip all other statements and all other matching. Okay, if all the cases represented here, that means we can represent any number of case labels here. If all the cases returns false value, in that case we can go for the default case. Okay, here we have a set of default statement. All the cases returns a mismatch, then we can execute the default statement and directly go for the execution of remaining statement present outside the switch body. Okay, so all these are about the flowchart of branching, decision making, branching statements. Okay, thank you.